everyone, this is Amy. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you how I do a loose flower on this glass bottle. It is going to have a mixture of Wicker White, Moon Yellow, Yellow Ochre, and this is the metallic silver, Cerulean Blue, and actually this is real brown. I thought it was burnt umber, but it's real brown. Brushes I'm using are the 3/4 flat brush, the number 10 flat brush, and the number 1 liner. These are all plaid one-stroke brushes. And then I'm going to be using a number 8 Deerfoot Stippler for the center of the flowers. Alright, I've cleaned the bottle, and that's very important when you're doing glasswork. Make sure you clean off soap and water, rinse it well, and then go over it with rubbing alcohol just to make sure you got all the grease, grime, and all that good stuff off of your bottle before you start painting. That will help you add adherence, for the paint to actually take hold on the glass better than if you don't do that step. Very important. Alright, so what I'm going to start off by doing is I want to do a background on this bottle, even though it's green, so we actually already have some color. I'm going to take a brush and just practice kind of almost like a dry brush kind of thing on the front. Not trying to cover up all the green by any means, but then I'm going to come back in, throw in some blue, the Cerulean Blue over here, and then just kind of go back and forth. This is going to be a background for me to paint over. A couple things nice about this, if I were to be using this bottle, to sell, because I'm actually adding a coat of paint kind of as the background, it's going to help give it more durability because there's added paint, extra paint. Alright, so here we go. Now I could make it more of a solid, but I want to leave some of the green showing. I'm not trying to cover it all up. Just wanted to do a background behind it. So very easy, just kind of not completely dry, but not trying to put a ton of paint on it, but we can make it go up here into the top part and around the sides if we want, and then just go like this to get it covered. I am going to hit it with a heat gun before I start painting on it. I'll be right back. Alright, I gave it some dry time, hit it with the heat gun. My next step is to start creating the flowers, and I am going to be doing, or trying to fit in 5 flowers here. Might have to be a little less. I'm not sure room wise if that's going to work or not. Alright, so basically I am not really completely loading these as far as doing a one-stroke kind of load, but they're just going to be very, very simple flowers with a flat brush. And I am trying to get a couple of the other colors like the silver in there and the burnt umber, and primarily just so that it has some color to it. I could do this all in white if I wanted, but I'm choosing not to do that. I really am not trying to have an all white flower. I wanted to have a little bit of color in it, and I just thought, why not throw these colors? Are kind of fun colors. Oops, and I have to be careful because since I did put a coat of paint underneath, painting over it can cause it to start to raise up. Almost like a crackle look in a sense, really. A lot of these are going to just be pretty close together because of my room here isn't a whole lot. And I think this is easy for people to do this type of technique because it's really not stroke work. It's just giving you, just layering and adding color that type of thing. So it's kind of easy. I could use a smaller brush, and maybe I should have, but I'm just going to stick with what I have and what I've been using. And then just keep touching in some gray periodically just to get the look I'm after. If you're new to my channel, just please understand that the purpose of my channel really is to give people some confidence to try to be creative. I just think, you know, people use other methods to relax. I know some people will do yoga, and really when you're being creative, yeah, I can kind of fall right into that. Lifestyle, drawing and painting can be very relaxing. And not that you have to be creating art to give away or to sell. That's not really the purpose, honestly. At least for me, it's not. My purpose is truly to get you to be creative. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Deerfoot Stippler. I'm putting it into what I typically do, 2 colors at once. So I've just kind of got it loaded like that, and I can add paint. I always tap it off, but I can add paint if I want as I go. And I want to try to bring my center up this way a little bit because I want to put some more leaves towards the bottom, or petals to the flower I should say, towards the bottom. And go ahead and just keep working it. And I tapped in a little bit of the real brown because I do like to do at least 3 colors when I'm tapping in a center. Love these brushes. If you haven't tried them and you like to do centers like I do, you will love them. Yes, I know I do. They're just so easy to load. I always tap mine off just to get the excess paint so I don't have too much paint on at one time. I mean, look, just look how easy that is. I think they're really neat centers. Now these I'm going to actually put a little, I'm trying to say, I'm going to put a little center kind of towards the top here, because I too am going to come in here and paint more. Now I can make these centers as big as I want or as small. Doesn't really matter. I could raise this one up a little bit because I am going to paint over it. Make it a little bit more rounded. And then come back here, tap in some brown just like I did on the other ones. I'm going to put it heavier if I want it. I could also, if you want it to have some drying time in between, you can give it that, or if you would like to have, you know, go ahead and use a heat gun or hair dryer and have some drying time that way, you can do that. Now right now I'm going back in and painting in a little bit of the lighter yellow, and I think on my bigger one up here I need a tad bit more dark. And I can come back in. Like I said, you can work your centers until you're happy with them. You can come up more around the sides, or you can just do like that. Make them a little darker. A little darkness in different spots. Not all the way around it. Up to you. And then if you feel like you need to come in and blend a little more, you can do that with adding some paint on, or you can just tap over it and it helps blend it. Alright, I like those. I'm happy with them. Alright, so going back to my bigger brush, I'm going to, you know what I might do? I'm going to hit it with the hairdryer again. Okay, So I just gave it a little bit of a hit from the hairdryer, or the heat gun, sorry. I don't know why I say that all the time. Alright, so I'm just going to come back over this, and I can pull in, you know, longer pulls with this. Kind of pull them in, each coming from each direction. You know, you want to kind of have it pulled down a little bit. I have this up here where it's cracked a little bit. I can come back in this and fix that, and just kind of make it fit in. It's just very light kind of strokes that I'm doing here, nothing real hard, and it's loose. And it's just really loose painting, just taking your brush and just lightly painting over. If you want more white in it, add more white. If you like it with the darker, the brown and the silver, then leave it that way. So I can come back in here, do the same thing, just kind of bring it in here and just give it some, like I said, it's such a forgiving design that if you want to have it where it's coming up, the petals are coming up around your center, you can do that, or you can just leave it with the center showing. On this one, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. It's a little bit different kind of view, but it's still neat. And there you go. Pretty simple. Alright, so then I'm going to take my liner brush. I'm going to just dip it into my Cerulean Blue, and then I'm going to start doing my stems. And I'm going to do it as if I have stems for each and every bloom. And they'll go in different directions. If you choose to not do the stems, you could just decide to put leaves around them and not have a stem be an issue. Now what I'm doing here is going back in and putting some silver metallic paint over the blue. Just like that, very easy. And again, I ask that you keep in mind when you're viewing my videos that these are intended to be easy. They are definitely not supposed to be anything difficult. They're meant to be very simple. And if you want, you can pull a stem like up here. Not going to see it real well, but again, just pulling little fillers here and there. If you want to put leaves on them or something, you can do that. For the purpose of this video, though, I am not putting leaves on them. I am just having them as fillers. I'm also going to throw in some white here so that they can be seen a little bit easier. And it's just real loose painting. It's very, very loose. And that is intentional. So yeah, you realize that it doesn't have to be fancy, but it can still be pretty. It can still be pretty, 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 very pretty. And you can do one down here if you want. Just a little branch coming off, a little curly branch. If you feel anything is too dark with the color or is too heavy with the color, go ahead and paint over it. Work with it till you get it the way you like it. That's all I say, is just keep working with it. Like this one, I can go up like that. And then you can come down this one a little bit more with my liner brush. Main thing is that you have fun. If you're not getting together with your friends right now, what kind of a perfect thing would it be to do maybe even a Zoom meeting with your friends or something to that effect and have a glass painting party? They can be safely at home. You can be safely at home and you all can sit and laugh and as if you're all together still. Just a suggestion. Alright, now I'm going to use my number 10 liner brush, and what I'm going to do here is just add some very simple leaves. They're going to come down. Now when I'm doing this, if you want to throw it in with green, something that's going to be more prevalent, you can do that. My intention was just to be very simple, and so that's why I stuck with this color. Now again, not something you have to do. You can come up with a combination of other colors, whether you wanted to make it more about the silver, you can do that. I am just sticking with the color theme. It's already on here. And again, you have to keep in mind too with this, I don't have a whole lot of room on here, so I could be doing it with a smaller brush if I wanted to, or a different color, you know, if I wanted to do it with green. But just very simple, and that's what my intention is. And this is a place for beginners to come to learn to paint. Very simply, doing just simple brush strokes. You can actually do this flower with any brush that you have. Just, you know, how do I want to say, just change it to be, you know, with whatever brushes you have on hand if you don't have flat brushes. And I could go back over here too if I, you know, like I'm overlapping some. I could go over and put the color back on that's for the flower if I didn't want the leaf to be covering it up, but I'm good with it. Alright, I hope you like this. If you do, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Before you leave, hit the share button that you'll see underneath the video. Share this on your social network with all your family and friends. And until the next time, stay safe and healthy. You have a good one.